You know what? I would love to see Tamlin and Lucian's swords cross.
I would read that. Not gonna lie.
Chat, clip that. Chat, clip that. That was so good. Welcome to
our cult. The cult of books.
We're your leaders.
We're your leader. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Jayne.
Welcome, guys. We are doing an Unhinged recap of, what is it, Jayne? A Court of Thorns and Roses, guys.
That's goddamn right. You wanted it. We make it happen for you, devotees.
We do. Especially with the release of the next one coming up real soon. We're only a couple months out.
We are only a couple months out. Hell, it feels like a couple of days with how much rereading, recapping, unhinging, insanity that we have to do for everyone and all things.
Yeah, exactly. But we're here for you, just book one, but we probably will spoil all 5 books of this series because we find little Easter eggs and I was catching them in all my notes. So
little Easter eggs. Again, this is an unhinged recap of the entire series. We are doing the Lord's work and starting with book 1. But we like to keep it fun, and we like to keep it fresh, and we like to keep it quick as much as possible. But again, this is an entire world with 5 books in it so far. So there is a lot to go over. And as you know, if you're here for a recap and you've already read the series, hello, welcome. If you have not yet read the series, this is a fine place to start if you don't want to read the series, or if you don't want to reread the series. We understand, so we're here for you. These are the cliff notes with a little bit extra spizzice on top, I think.
Yes, a little bit of extra of us on the top.
That's exactly.
Okay. So a few things before we start, though. This is an adult-rated podcast, guys. We do say adult things. We discuss adult-related topics. There is killing in this book. There is sex.
It's a spicy fairy book. Yeah, exactly.
It is. It's a spicy fairy. My desk jacket is off because I have it in the background.
Woo! Desk jacket off.
Naked book.
Take it off. And she does.
Woo.
She does.
She does.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind when listening around little ones, guys. We get crazy. And this book is crazy.
That's right. Another thing to note, we can be found all over social media, posting, commenting, engaging. We are on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and Fable. Links are in the description below. I also wanted to mention that we are doing a Schmiv-away currently. So what you need to do is you need to comment salute leaders on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify if you have it. If you don't have it, I understand. And Fable. Find us on Fable at The Cult of Books and find a place to comment or leave it in the discussion notes of our current read, Salute Leaders, and you will be entered into the Schmiv-away that ends at the last day of July. Let me just double check what that is. July 31st. So I will be keeping track of everybody that comments in all of the places. And so stay tuned for that. It'll be a random Schmiv-away.
Schmiv-away, yes. And if you guys want like a more in-depth background covering deep dive, Fantasy Fangirls does a better deep dive into ACOTAR. We are just doing a quick summary of this book in our own way that we do. But if you want deep dive information, go check out Fantasy Fangirls. They do an amazing coverage of all of the books.
Correct. Totally agree. All right, now that we've gotten all of the business out of the way, we're going to jump in. So, how we decided to split the reading up for this book was I did the first half of the book, Natasha did the back half, but we will be like interjecting our comments here and there and our theories too. So, there'll be time for that. But we're going to start off first with the basic world building facts about ACOTAR. So, again, this book is called A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. The world. Natasha's going to edit in a map here of the world,
Yes.
is based in courts. So courts split up the land. The land looks a lot like Great Britain.
Yep.
So, but it's not. Allegedly, it's not.
Allegedly.
Night Court is at the tippy top. It's the biggest court. Then we have day, then dawn. Then the mountain kind of splits the world in half. Then we have winter and summer to the west, autumn to the east, and then down at the bottom is spring. And then we have a big wall that splits the lands from the mortal world. So Fey world, mortal world, they do be split. So each court has a high Fey ruler, which is typically male. It's also important to know, but not super important for this book, that there is an evil king that rules over another fairy human world, not a lot of humans left, court called Hybern. They're off on another island, so don't worry too much about them during this book. So that is how the world is set up. We are not going to start off with the characters because we'll introduce them kind of as they come up with book 1, but in book 2, you'll get a summary of all the characters that we've met so far. So let's get right into it with chapters 1 through 14. I combined all of these together because there was a lot of, like, not a lot going on, and so I didn't really feel like splitting it up chapter by chapter, and so this is the first 1 through 14 chapters. So, we open up with a young Feyre. This is going to be our female main character. She is barely 19, a little sickly-bodied baby. She is out hunting to keep her family fed because they are all a bunch of bitch-ass hoes who used to be rich and now they're poor because their dad got into some trouble and some goons messed him up real bad. So POV, you're out hunting, you find a deer, you go, I need to kill that deer to feed my family, but wait, there's a big-ass wolf. What do you do? Well, Miss Feyre thought it would be a good idea to kill the wolf. TBH, it did not give up much of a fight, nor try to attack her at all. She pretty much shot that hoe down, and it went down. She do be skinning that hoe, and then she takes that hoe, no, she doesn't do nothing with the wolf body, but she do be skinning the wolf, for his pelt, and she takes the deer home. So the next day, her bitch-ass lazy sisters, who don't really give a fuck about her, are like, are you gonna take that into town and sell the pelts? Because they're seeing the mother freaking payday for those pelts, and, you know, her sister wants a new pair of boots, and the other one wants some bullshit, and so she's like, yeah, she's like, all right, whatever. Let's go into town. So at this point, we do get introduced to her two sisters, Elaine, Miss Flower Girl, and Nesta, Frigid Ice Bitch. So, she sells the pelts to a mercenary who fought creatures from the Fey lands. So the Fey lands basically are a mystical, magical realm at this point in the story. We know that they exist, but they don't really have a lot of bearing on the human world currently, other than deadass they just exist. And humans are honestly afraid of the fairy realms, because they heard that people go there and then they are used and abused, sold into slavery pretty much, or like eaten, and so humans are not super down with the fairy realm. Okay, so Feyre ends up selling the pelts to a mercenary, and then the Fey worshippers come in, and everyone's like, boo, get the fuck out of here, we hate the Fey here. They are basically just seen as this like cult who worship the Fae people, and every once in a while they send a human person over the wall for shits and gigs. We don't
Hmm.
actually know what happened to the humans that go
We
over the
do.
wall. We do know what happens to the humans who go over
I just
the
came
wall.
across that part.
We do know what happens to the humans that go over the wall, but we find out that later on in the story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
um
had forgotten until I read the book. So I was like, oh yeah.
I reread the book and I also forgot. So yeah, everyone's like, get the fuck out of here. So anyways, Feyre is, sells her pelts, and then across the room she makes eye contact with her little tryst. Um and she's got a little side piece. You're like, yeah, she's poor, yeah, she's starving, yeah, her family lives in like a tiny cabin, but Feyre be getting her nut, okay? Don't ever mistake Miss Feyre with not getting her nut. She finna get her nut. So she sees her little tryst from across the way. He's like a fucking butcher's son or some shit.
That
Like,
sounds right.
yeah, we don't care. He's nothing. Don't worry about him. She gets her freaking Nikki on, and then that's that. Later, they head back to the cabin, and it's nighttime now, and a big old beastie starts boom, 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 boom. A big old beastie starts breaking down the damn door, and he's coming in yelling, mind you, like a literal creature of the night, right? A big
Yeah.
lion, ram,
Bear thing.
whatever the fuck he is. He's crazy looking. So he's yelling, by the way. So they're all like, "What the fuck is that?" And then also he's speaking English. English. He's speaking, he's yelling, he's upset, and he goes, "What happened to my homie? You killed my homie. Which one of you did it? I know you did it." Da 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 da. And Feyre is like, "My bad, y'all. That was me." And so he was like, "Right, you're coming with me, lil ho." And she's like, "My family, who's gonna provide for my family? Oh no." Anyways, he yanks her the fuck out of there and explains, yeah, basically you need to come live in Prithian now. Prithian is the name of the Fairy courts, because you killed a Fae, and due to the treaty, blah blah blah, this is what we, whatever the fuck the treaty is, we know what it is a little bit, but we don't really know what is involved in the treaty. Apparently,
Yeah.
there's a treaty between Fae people and human people. The treaty
That was
doesn't
made
really
500 years ago.
the treaty doesn't really fucking matter in these books. It comes into play later on, but right now we just know that it exists. So due to the
Yeah.
treaty, he's like, "Bring your ass with me. Instead of killing you, which would be justice, you're gonna come with me and live in my lands." She's like, "Dude, no, my family." And he's like, "I don't give a fuck. We're going." And then it turns out that likely he is probably High Fae. There's an inkling of this in during these chapters that he may be High Fae. I'm gonna
Real
come.
quick though.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, back to the mercenary. I have
Yeah.
notes here
Okay.
about her appearance because everybody has so many theories about the mercenary too. Like,
Okay.
who is this?
Right.
Why did this mercenary give Feyre so much gold coin? I've seen theories that it's a character from Crescent City, but I'm like, they're too tall for that because they're saying this character is really tall and all of this stuff. And like the mercenary talks about a Martax attacked them. What the fuck is a Martax? We never get it brought up again. Never. And I'm like,
Right.
what creature is this? What is
Right.
like my notes for chapter 3 are thick.
Right. Right.
I'm just like, what is this?
You're right.
Like, what the heck? And I'll
You're right. Yeah, that creature never does get brought up again in the time that, at least that I can remember. I guess I'm gonna
yeah.
pay closer attention to that as we kind of get through the story. But yeah, so that's a really great theory that other people have. I think we're gonna also incorporate fan theories into this too.
Yes.
Because why not?
Yes.
Because why not? So I think,
I have
yes.
one.
Yeah, I just sitting here talking to you, I thought of one. Do we have an inkling that she may be half Fae?
The mercenary?
Correct.
Half Fae or like a quarter Fae? Maybe not full half, but a quarter. Because like the mercenary said, like, because Feyre asked why you're helping me, and the mercenary said, because someone did this for me and mine when I needed it, and I wanted to pay it forward. And I'm like, that's so sweet. And also,
Interesting.
who the hell are you? We never hear about the
Interesting.
mercenary ever again. And I'm like,
Right.
who are you? And their door is covered in ward marks, or word marks, as we learn later from another series, that do shit to keep Tamlin out. Like, they're
Right.
supposed to protect from the Fae. He just came in. The guy
Right.
just came in.
Right. Right.
Didn't do shit.
So we do get, and this is assuming that everyone has already read Throne of Glass, and if you have not read Throne of Glass, you should have started with that series before you've read ACOTAR. I hope that you're at least in your reread of Throne of Glass, or potentially your first read through of Clone of Grass. That's a good one. And, by the way, we will be talking about and bringing other things in from the entire mass verse, because this is going to probably play into, we can't say for sure, but probably play into her next few books that are releasing. By the way, the purpose of this reread is to prepare you for the next books that are coming out, and which we will get a crossover world. By the way, we've already had it, and you guys need to read Crescent City. It's important. Okay. All right.
Luna's on book 2, and I'm so excited.
I know. It's good. It's good stuff. Okay. So we tap back in with Feyre. She is in this dude's manor. This high fae that came and picked her ass up for killing his homie. She is in this dude's manor. She doesn't trust anybody. They're all wearing these crazy masks. There's a blight on the lands. Everything's big, bad, and scary. This dude named Lotion. This dude named Lucian shows up. We find out that the dude that kidnapped her, his name is Tamlin, but for sake of this video and for every video ever moving forward, he's going to be a variation of a T word. This was not started by us. This was started by somebody else. Natasha will tag them down below in the description, but it is iconic and funny, and we will be running with it. So, Lucian, and who we find out, Tamlin, aka Timmy Tam, aka Big Bad Spring Court Male, aka where Feyre is basically at his manor. So we start to understand that this guy has a court, right? And that there's creatures in this court. Things are kind of scary in this world. She's living in this manor. He's like, I don't really care. Like, he doesn't really try to connect with Feyre in the first few weeks of her being there. She's just existing in this court, sad, miserable, missing her family, etc. So we start to find out that there are bad creatures, there are medium bad creatures, and there's super bad creatures. So basically everything's fucked and everything sucks. And she's she's not really allowed to leave because they would, eat her ass up, basically. So, we do find out about a particular creature during this time that is important and comes back into play later on. So we find out about this creature named the Suriel. The Suriel will tell you truths. So Feyre, who basically has the run of the manor, decides to go off and find it. The reason why she's gone and started looking for this Suriel creature is that she needs to know who the fuck Iante kidnapped her. Basically, she doesn't have any information at this time about what the blight is and who kidnapped her and all these things, and she's just I need answers. So she does end up successfully capturing the Suriel. By the way, the information is dropped to her by Lucian, which is Timmy Tam's right-hand man, and helps him run and manage the Spring Court. So Lucian is kind of like a devil's advocate in this book. He's neither good nor bad, but somewhere kind of in the middle. And I don't know about anybody else, but I did like him more for her at the beginning of this book than I did Timmy Tam, because we, like, at the beginning of this story, we're getting virtually no personality out of Timmy Tam, like virtually nothing. He's just,
Yeah.
he's around a little bit, and he's kind of a wet blanket. So this Lucian guy, he was a little bit more charismatic, and did actually try to get to know Feyre a tiny little bit. But again, she's a human. She killed their homie. I get it. They're not really fucking with her, but she just now, lives there, and we don't really know why.
Yeah.
Okay. So she ends up capturing the cereal, and this is where we get our first tea sesh, that you probably all have seen a million times. But basically, the cereal tells her to stay with the High Lord. And because Feyre is a baby, and she thinks that must mean Timmy Tamlin, she goes, okay, noted. I guess I will stay with his bitch ass. So then a few more days go by, and a fairy gets thrown over the border onto Tammy's land. The fairy is crying about his lost wings. They've been chopped the fuck off. And Feyre starts to think that there is more to this story, because he's also screaming about this evil lady, her. And Feyre is like, who the fuck is her? Nobody gives her any information. So she just has to, like, go with this bloody, broken, dying fairy and Timmy Tamlin into this room where they try to, like, help this fairy survive. He's a lower fairy. The world is kind of split up in a couple of ways. We have the High Fae, and then we have pretty much everybody else. High Fae, the court, and then pretty much everybody else. And so that's how it goes in this land. So this fairy has its wings cut off. It's crying. And so, she goes in there with Tamlin and soothes this fairy, basically while he dies. And so she's looking at Tim Tam and she's like, hey, what the fuck was that about? And he's like, don't worry about it, basically. He's like, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. Don't ask any questions. Don't worry about it. Don't even look into it. And Feyre's like, yeah, right. Okay. So I have a theory here. Yes. So one thing that I wanted to bring up, that's, that is related to Throne of Glass, but potentially, we don't know. We don't know for sure. This is just kind of a theory / thought. So, we learned a little bit earlier that Tamlin, aka Timmy, as he's talking about his abilities, Lucian, who's talking about his abilities? Either way, Tamlin's talking about his abilities, Lucian's talking about his abilities, something like that. So either way, we learned that Tina can turn other fae into animals, hence the reason why he was able to turn his sentries into wolves. Didn't Maeve also have that power? Is there a relation there? I don't know. But something that popped into my brain, and I was like, I'm gonna pop that in for later.
I think so. Sorry, the internet just went so bad. I caught none of that, but luckily I know your notes. So yeah, Maeve did have that power.
Right. Okay. So a few more days go by, and Tim Tam is like, hey, you like art? Here's a place you can do it.
You like paint?
You like finger paint, Feyre? A few more days go by after that, and shit really starts to pop off at this point, because now it's calamari night, aka Calanmai, aka pork and beans, aka give magic back to the land via sex magic. And Lucian is like, hey, Fei, you can't come, because something overtakes Timmy Tam Tam, and he basically turns into something else. And Feyre is like, what the fuck are you talking about? And And he's like, yeah, don't do it. Don't come near him. He is gonna be a freak. He's gonna be a freaky guy. And he needs to get his freaky freak nasty on with anybody but not you. Because he needs to repower the lands through getting his freaky freak on. And she's like, I genuinely don't understand what you're even talking about. Because remember, she's a human. They don't do that stuff. She just sleeps with the boy in a barn sometimes. And it doesn't give the same energy back to the land. It's a little disappointing. Anyways, so she sneaks out of the manor anyways because it's goddamn Feyre. And she's like wandering around in the dark, and there's like a bunch of fires and some drum beating going on. Things are getting carnal, right? Well, you know, she runs into some nasty fairies who are like, "Hey girl, where you been? Let me see what you're getting into." And they yank her, start to drag her away, right? Well, that's when we run into Tall Dark and Rhysand. Swoon. At this point, we don't know it's Rhysand, by the way, but eventually we do figure out his name. So, Lucian, and this is one of the most beautiful parts ever in the whole story. So, eventually, Lucian sees Feyre on the hill, and this is where things honestly get interesting. So, pause really quick because I have a theory. In the book, it says, as I scan the crowd, my eyes meet with those of a masked fairy across the path. One was russet and shone as brightly as his red hair, aka his eyes. One was metal. I blinked at the same moment he did, and his eyes were wide. He vanished into nothing, and a second later, someone grabbed my elbow and yanked me out of the crowd. So this is when we learn that these fairies have winnowing abilities, aka spatial jumping. And that relates back to Throne of Glass because only one fairy in High Fae, and Throne of Glass had that ability, and it was Fenris. So this is interesting.
His brother Connell.
Right. Yeah, Connell and Fenris had that ability. And they were the only ones that did. So somehow we're starting to see that potentially these two different kinds of fae may be linked together. So I wanted to
because it's rare there, and here, like almost a lot of high fae can do it. A lot, not all, but a lot can do it.
Right. And that is an interesting nugget that I latched onto and was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to Calamari Night, Lucian sees Feyre and is like, no, dude, you're not supposed to be. Remember how I told you that shit goes absolutely bananas and like it brings in all of the people all over, like people are allowed to leave in their different courts to come here and to like get their freak on and like things are bad, like you can't be here. So, he drags Feyre back to the manor. Obviously, Feyre is like, what the hell is going on? And Lucian does his best to explain to poor virginal Feyre. She's semi-virginal. Poor semi-virginal Feyre. That things basically happen, right? And so that's that. So the next day after the ceremony, Timothy is pissed that Feyre was around because he could smell her and it drove him literally insane. He's like, I could smell that you were there. Yeah, I had to fuck somebody else. And I would have taken you, Feyre. I would have taken you in a way that you wouldn't have liked. And Feyre was like, tell me I wouldn't have liked it. So there's some sexual tension going on between these two, even though she low-key she low-key still hates him at this point in the book. Kind of. It's complicated.
Yeah.
So anyways, some more time goes by. So a couple days later, a head appears on a spike in the fountain. Tim and Lucian are like, oh, it's just the night court joking around, those crazy kids. They play by their own rules. Feyre is like, huh? So they kind of try to brush this whole thing off as if it, it's just the night court taunting us. for no reason at all. And oh, we have beef with the Night Court, so they're fucking around. And Feyre's like, right, totally not convinced, by the way, totally completely not convinced that that's what's going on, because remember, there was a fairy that came into the realm that had his wings ripped off and he died, and now we have a head on a spike in the pond. No, something is not adding up. So life goes back to normal for a little bit. The summer solstice comes. Feyre gets really drunk on fairy wine. Remember, you're not supposed to drink fairy wine. Timothy and her become closer. Blah, blah, blah. He plays a fiddle. It's the least important part of the book. The next morning, they're all eating lunch / breakfast when there is a disturbance in the force. Timid tells Lucian to shield Feyre as he throws a glamour over them both, and the most beautiful and handsome High Lord strolls in. Resend! But wait a damn minute. Feyre knows this guy because she ran into him on Calamari night. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Feyre has to give him a fake name. She gives him a fake name. Claire Bedore. Claire Better. However you say it. It's controversial on how this name is said. So Feyre gives him a fake name because, and by the way, so Tamlin tries to throw a glamour over her, and Rhysand, the beautiful, most handsomest High Lord in the world, is like, you dare to insult me by throwing a stupid glamour over this lady? I can see right through your magic, you shitty High Lord. And he reveals her, basically. And he's like, oh, I believe we've met before, in his eyes only. And Feyre's like, I should not reveal that I've also met you in front of these two because I think it'll cause drama for me. So anyways, my name's Claire Better. So the reason why Rhys is there, is basically to be like, you're running out of time, Tamlin. And nobody knows what this running out of time thing is, and that he's supposed to appear under the mountain real soon, basically. And we're like, Feyre's like, what's under the mountain? Huh? What's it running out of time? What's going on? So Rhysand is like, anyways, bye, and takes the information about Feyre existing back underneath the mountain. Whatever the fuck that means, because we don't know what that means. And that's basically the first half of the book.
The humans are warned against the Fae. They're bad, all this stuff. One of the High Fae could turn your bones to dust from 100 yards away. I'm like, Rhysand, this you?
Oh, interesting. One of the High Fae could turn your bones to dust from 100 yards away. I mean,
he can do that.
That is giving Rhysand powers. Absolutely. That is giving Rhysand powers. Totally.
Okay, perfect. Part 2. Basically, Rhysand has left now, and Tamlin, or Toyota Tundra as I wrote, gets very upset. And basically, Feyre leaves, and then he roars and breaks things, and Feyre just hears crashing, and she's like, I'm gonna stay in my room, deuces. Like, no, I'm not coming down. And then later that night, Tamlin comes up and is like, you're going home. We're done. And then Feyre's like, why? Why am I going home? What did I do? And he's like, nothing. You need to go home. Didn't you read between the lines? Go home. And so basically Feyre's like, yeah, who would want someone covered in thorns? And Tamlin's like, thorns? She's like, thorny, prickly, sour, contrary. And I was like, book title. And then he's like, they smoochy smooch. And then they have sex. And then as she's falling asleep, this is the part I'm like, what the fuck, Tamlin? He whispers to her, I love you, thorns and all. And I'm like, wrong time, my homie. This is the first say that I love you. And Feyre's like, I think I dreamt that.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, she's like, this is a dream state.
Yeah. Ooh. The next day, we wake up, Alice, oh my god, Alice, the housemaid who we love, I love Alice, dresses us in frilly outfits, and Feyre's like, this isn't my style, but okay. We have a bunch of trunks, which we didn't come here with. We came here with the clothes on our back, guys. Like, what is all this? And Feyre, this line got me, and I was like, this is so sweet. Alice, Feyre says, I don't like advice. If I could just walk out, I would. If I could, I'd just walk out. And Alice says, I don't like them either. We see this in books 2 and 3, which I love. It's like basically that's what happened in 2. And then again in 3. There is kind of a goodbye in 3, but you know, sort of. Yeah. I was like, that's so sweet. Then Feyre goes outside. We get Lucian kind of saying goodbye, but Lucian's mad at Feyre and Tamlin. He is very mad. Just like cranky, and she's like, I don't know why he's mad. Is he mad at Tamlin? Whatever. Get in the carriage. Tamlin says, I love you again as the carriage is going off, and Feyre just sits there and goes, I want to say it, but I don't want to be a burden because he could die. And I'm like, bitch, please say it. Like, why didn't you say it? So then Feyre passes out. Again, we get drugged. Every time we pass the wall, Feyre gets drugged.
Right, yes, I forgot.
And then we get home
that. She gets
to a bigger house. We're in a new house, guys. Not the little old cottage. We're in a brand new house. And then her sisters don't quite recognize us. And then they get closer. And they're like, oh, our aunt died. Because that's the story. Feyre's off with an aunt, you know, and erase their memories. But Nesta is very quiet and even more standoffish. It's like, This Nesta description, though, perfect. Cunning, cold eyes, made differently from something harder and stronger than bone and blood. I'm like, that's cool as fuck, bro. Like, that is a perfect Nesta description. And you see this later on, too. And I'm just like, yes, I'm gobbling up every little thing I can find. Just like, give me.
Yeah, every little nugget that we get about Nesta is important because, you know, the way that the books are broken up, we have, you know, books 1, 2, and 3 are the Feyre Rhysand arcs, and then books 2 and 4 and 5. Yeah, 4 and 5 are 5 specifically more so are our Nesta arcs. So these are important things because we kind of, you know, she's an interesting character. From book number 1, Nesta is an interesting character. She's a bitch. She's a cold-hearted bitch, but she's interesting. And so it has a way, you know, Sarah has a way of, like, being like, ding, 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 pay attention to this Nesta character.
Yeah, I remember reading this and, like, hating Nesta. I'm like, God, she's such a bitch. Make it to her story. I'm like, I get it. I'm like, I don't love you, but I'm like, I understand. Yeah, it's, oh my God, it's so good. So, Feyre and everybody's unpacking. We learn in the trunks we get money. Tamlin gave us money. And so Feyre decides to invest in her father's new company that's growing and then give some to the poor villagers where they lived because she's like, they need this more than we do now, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
And then Feyre just makes up stories about her time with their aunt, and Elaine's in her garden. What a shocker. And Feyre learns that Nesta tried to come see her, but the carriage broke down. She's like, huh, okay, that's not like Nesta at all. Don't want to come visit. Later on, Nesta calls out to Feyre that she doesn't belong. She belongs somewhere else. Feyre's like, what? And we learn that Nesta wasn't properly glamored, or it didn't work. Because she says, your beast's little trick didn't work on me. All it takes is an iron will. Nesta does have an iron will. That has been said since we first met her. She has an iron will. And it's like that has shown so much throughout this entire series. But we learned iron doesn't do shit to these fae. And I'm like, so why does that matter? Iron works in Throne of Glass world, but not here. So why does an iron will fight the glamour? That is what I'm confused about.
Interesting.
I'm like, what?
Good point.
Maybe she's just strong-minded and she's like, my mind's too strong for this. And I said she's made differently, so maybe her brain's like, no, I can't be glamored.
Maybe she's made differently, her iron will, because she's an iron-teethed witch descendant.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, there's a theory that the Archeron sisters are part witches, especially Nesta. Because Tamlin said, didn't your mother ever tell you stories about the Fae? And Feyre's like, no. So it's like, why would you specifically say our mother?
Right.
Why not our father?
Right, exactly. Yeah. What do you mean by that? Anybody could have told us
What do you mean?
Anybody could have told us about the Fae, and nobody ever did. Except for when we saw the Fae worshippers come into town. Exactly.
So that part I'm latched on to still. I'm like,
huh.
So after all that, Nesta tells Feyre she thought she was crazy because she remembered all this shit, but Papa Archeron and Elaine didn't. She's like, the door got busted and all of this stuff, and they're like, oh, it's just a strong wind. And Nesta's like, no, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, am I going crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I feel so bad for Nesta. That part I felt really bad for. I was like, I've been there. It's like, no, wait, this happened. It's a Mandela effect.
Yeah.
It really is. So to welcome Feyre back, they host a ball. Yay, just what we need. Dancing. Feyre and Nesta are kind of hanging out together more, I know. She's thinking of Tamlin, the Blight, Lucian, Prithian, just everything. And she's like, gotta go back. But then she learns that the house that burned down a couple weeks ago was the better house. And they can't find Claire's body. Oh shit. That's Feyre's doing. Oopsies, that's the name I gave that hot High Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So Nesta, in the nicest way, tells Feyre to leave. You don't belong here. But again, in the nice Nesta way. Everyone gets their memories back. Their father's in his study making plans. We don't see him again until book 3. Not gonna lie.
Right.
It's like, okay, bye, Dad. I'm leaving. This is
Love you.
I'm working.
Love you. He's not even, whatever. And he, because he had his memory wiped. He's like, okay. Like,
Well, they all got their memories back. As soon as Feyre said like a couple phrases, Elaine and Father were like, oh, that's right.
right.
And so that's why he's at his study. But it's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta make plans. And she's like, what plans? And he said, I gotta make plans. It's like, okay. Thanks, Dad. Love you too.
That's it.
See you later.
I might not come back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a tragedy. That's so sad. We'll miss you.
I'm on a business call. Give me 5.
Classic dad shit.
Really is. So Feyre writes in court. It takes her about she said it takes about 2 days to get to the wall. I don't remember the time frame here. It is about that time. She gets to the wall, gets through it, goes to the house, which I think is another day ride. So it's about 3-4 days that she's left her house. Wait. Okay. Camera change. Hi guys. Technical issues. Okay. Feyre gets to the house. Everything's gone. So Feyre gives herself a minute to break down. Makes sense. I would do that too. Probably more than a minute, but whatever.
Right.
Then she starts assessing around the house. She sees some blood trails, some boot prints, and she's kind of piecing together what happened. Because she's a hunter, she can figure this shit out, follow the tracks, Which I wish I was that talented. That'd be really cool. That'd be a cool thing to pull out. Be like, oh, it went this way.
I mean, you have the braid. Yeah, I see what you're.
So as Feyre's looking around, she hears a noise. So she goes and hides. And she's like, shit, who's here? Because there's nobody there. It's Alice. Great. Awesome. We can get some information. Alice gives us the lowdown of what the fuck happened. So the Blight is this evil fae woman named Amarantha. Also pronounced bitch. Yeah. Gag me.
Hate.
Yeah.
Double hate.
Entirely. Anyway. Okay. Amarantha is the she that everybody was talking about. She's like, oh, okay. So she placed what they call a 7x7 curse on the whole kingdom, basically. So it's 49 years, basically 50 years. All this turmoil and everything that's been going on. And Tamlin didn't break it in time, so that he's back with her under the mountain. We learn why she's like this. So she was in that war 500 years ago that Tamlin had said, like, I wasn't a part of it. I was just a baby, basically. He wasn't old enough to be a part of. And so that war 500 years ago, a human named Jurian, we'll get back to him, fell in love with Clythia, Amarantha's sister. Stop. Oh, Amarantha's sister. But he used Clythia and killed her. And Amarantha was pissed, so she battled and killed Jurian. Then 100 years ago, Amarantha's like, hey, I'm good, guys. What's up? Let's make some trades. And everyone's like, okay. But we learn later, like next book, 2 High Lords were like, we don't believe you. They were sus as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay. So all the High Lords, and so then 50 years pass, and so all the High Lords gather, and she's like, "Let's throw a party," and then she drugs all the High Lords and takes all of their magic away, so they're left with like the basest magic that they can have, and so that's why Tamlin's semi-powerful, but still not great. And also, Rhysand is so powerful. He still has amazing magic, which you will see, and Feyre comments on it like, if he could still do this, like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is where my theory comes in, though, with this whole, like, party and everything. I saw this out there, a fan theory, and I'm latching onto it hardcore. Tamlin and Amarantha are mates. And he rejects it because he knows how cruel she is. Because his father battled with her, and his father was, like, friends with her. And we know she's cruel as fuck, so his father was cruel as fuck. He rejects it because he hates that. That's why he's like, I would rather be with a human than with you. I'd rather do this than with you, because he does not want to be with her. And so he's rejecting the bond. And so she's like, fuck you. I'm going to get you either way.
Ew.
Right?
Hey, so I don't like that.
I reject that. Thank you.
I don't accept that. Ew.
No, I saw that and I was like, it's fascinating. I'm like, that makes some sense.
I don't think that Tamlin deserves to have a mate ever. I think he needs to walk this world alone until the end of eternity and then die completely by himself, drowned in the pool of moonlight. Starlight.
Yeah. Which I have questions how that got there. But also, that would happen if this was his mate and she dies.
Hey, so our bad, we didn't even mention the fact that Tim Tam and Feyre went swimming in a pool of starlight that was apparently in the spring court. We didn't even touch on that.
No.
There isn't really any connection other than we're both like, why is that there? And we still don't know. Like, there's no connection yet.
I've also seen a theory that Tamlin is mates with not Lucian, Jesus, Rhys's sister.
And they were boys. And they were kissing.
I wish. Listen, let me rewrite this.
Hold on. I have edits. Oh. Can you tell that we like to read Why Choose?
Me especially, hi. So, as I said, Tamlin rejected Amarantha's advances, not necessarily the mating bond, but like that's my theory. But he had rejected her advances, and she was butthurt, so she cursed everybody. She was. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're right, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So that's how this curse came to be. For 2 years, Tamlin tried to find a cure. The cure was he had to find a human who hated the Fae and killed the Fae unprovoked and make her fall in love with him. So for 2 years, he tried to find a cure, like constantly. Couldn't find anything. Then he stopped. Until a few months ago, he started to do that. And then we found Feyre. But we also learned 40 years ago, 3 courts rebelled and their high lords were killed. We don't know the original names, but Day, Summer, and Winter are the 3 that rebelled, and now we have their new high lords, and 2 of the 3 I would fuck. Back to the white choose. I'm sorry, one of these would be a part of the white choose. He would want it to be a white choose too. Hello? One of them is happily mated, so he's cool. He's cool. He's kind of a dick, but he's cool. Also, earlier that we didn't fully touch on in the first half, there was Lucian got a note from somebody in Winter Court that 12 or 14 of their younglings had been killed. Their minds destroyed. This comes late in another book. So we're saying it now. And that's just heartbreaking because Alice said younglings are hard to come by for Fae of any sort. So to have 12 or 14 murdered with their minds destroyed sucks. And there's a suspicion of who they think it is, but it's really, yeah.
No, who would that be? Who would that be? It could actually be, side note, it could actually be some characters that we meet in book 5 because they have Damati powers.
We meet them in 3, don't we?
Is it 3? Okay. I don't
Yeah, the
remember. Oh,
siblings, yeah.
yeah, siblings. Yeah, those those two.
Yeah, the brother
Yeah.
sister, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thought too, is that it was them or somebody like them, because it was a Daemati, but it wasn't our Daemati.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna go distract her so she doesn't do this, and then she did, and she did it to make it seem like it was Reese, so everybody would hate him still.
Right.
Which is heartbreaking.
Reese
So, yeah.
just gets thrown underneath the rug so many times. Like,
I know.
and he doesn't deny any of it because
No.
he's trying to keep everything so close to his vest about, his
Yeah.
the things that he finds important, which have nothing to do with anybody else but his inner circle. The inner circle is number one over everything.
Oh, absolutely. That's why, like, we'll get into it more in the second book, because there's just his chapter 54. So good. I love that chapter. Like, 55 is a great, like, fun times, but I'm like, 54 gives you all the info, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it so much. Anyway. So then I said we learned, so 3 courts rebelled, and then now everybody's under the mountain. But all of them had been under there except Spring Court because they were special and their masks. And basically they're now under the mountain, and they got taken 3 days after Feyre left. So it's like Tamlin let her go, sent her away, knowing that they were going to go under the mountain. That's why everyone's kind of pissed at her and him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck?
You gave
I
up
don't
on
blame her.
us. Yep.
Yeah, basically. So Alice escorts us to a secret entrance to go under the mountain, secret tunnel, which is an ancient shortcut and all that. And we're given 3 rules to follow. 3 rules. Number 1, don't drink the wine. Number 2, don't make deals with anyone unless your life depends on it. Even then, consider its worth. Number 3, don't trust a soul in there. Not even your Tamlin. Your senses are your greatest enemies. Okay, 3 rules. Let's see if Feyre keeps any of them. Or breaks any of them, because she's... Yeah. As you can tell from our reactions, doesn't go well. One part of this curse, Alice still cannot physically say. And so that part is still active. The reason Alice and nobody's able to say this because it was in the curse. Like, you cannot say anything about this. So there's still one part that's like Alice cannot get out. So she's like, listen to everything that you've heard, everything that you hear. Just listen and pay attention. Feyre's like, okay, whatever. I'm going to go save Tamlin. Deuces. So she goes in and goes down there, and she's like, I got to, go save this. But she tells Alice, if you need to flee, go find my sisters. Nesta knows about you and will protect you. And I'm like, will she though? Because Nesta's very prejudicing. It's Faye. But she also knows that Alice is a good one. So it's like, I don't know. So Feyre goes in to the secret tunnel. And then as we're going through, we get taken by the Adder. Ugh.
He's a snake. He's a snake. Or something. Or he's alike.
I picture him as that flying... I know his wings are bigger, but that guy from episode 1, Phantom Menace of Star Wars that Anakin races for, like the little blue guy with like the long nose. That's how I picture the Adder.
Yo, so POV, I picture him as like a human cobra hybrid with wings. Yeah, it's not gross. It's not pretty. It's nasty as fuck. He's got like, the cobras have the big like beards and stuff. That's how I picture him.
Oh yeah, the hoods, yeah.
And he's green, and he talks like from Robin Hood. He talks like the snake from Robin Hood.
Sir Hiss, yeah.
Yeah, Sir Hiss. I forget that's his name. So that's how he talks in my head.
The graphic audio does that. It has him hiss a lot. Elizabeth Evans in this audio, he hisses a little bit, but I'm like, I like the way she does his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, this is how I picture the Adder. I don't know why.
That's just like a pig snake hybrid nasty boy.
Yeah,
That's funny.
with ugly bat wings, basically.
Oh god. Yeah.
So the Adder has her. He brings us to Amarantha. She's on the throne, and she has like red gold hair. So I'm like, okay, so she's really pretty because fair, gorgeous, you know. And Tamlin's just standing there, all stoic, no emotion. Yeah, because he has to. And Farah thinks he's under a spell to be like that. He's not. He's just being in control.
He just
So
he just fucking sucks. He just sucks.
facts. And so as Amarantha's talking, you know, she's talking with her hands like we do. And you see a ring on her finger, and it's an eyeball, and it's moving. And Farah's like, what the fuck is this? So we learn this is Jurian, Clithia's lover that killed her, basically, is still alive because Clithia told him he would never die. So as long as Amarantha has that eye and she's a finger bone, he will never die. This comes back later. And we also see Claire's body is displayed on the wall. Claire Better, R.I.P., my girl. You didn't have time for anything. R.I.P. And she was brutally tortured and murdered. Like, it's rough. So Amarantha pieces together that Feyre, unnamed human at this point, she doesn't know her name, and Tamlin love each other. And she laughs and says to Jurian, and I caught this, I suppose if anyone can appreciate the moment, it's you. A pity your human whore on the side never bothered to save you, though. Miriam? Is this Miriam? Wasn't she considered the human? Even though she's half? Because she was sleeping with Jurian, and then she betrayed and went with Draken. Is this Miriam? Right? I caught some little shit like that. I'm like, Miriam? Yeah. 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 That wasn't said in the book. The Miriam part, that's me going like, I know shit.
We don't know who the fuck Miriam is at this point. More in book 2.
Yeah, and then book 3 will get a lot more information, which I love so much. So Amarantha offers us a bargain. Don't fucking do it. That's rule number 2. Complete 3 tasks, and he and his court, Tamlin, are free. And she throws in, complete the tasks or solve this riddle, and then they can go free instantly. 1 task a month on the full moon. Feyre agrees. Fucking A. Rule 2 out the window. And then the Adder beats her unconscious. Because he's a dick. So, Worth wake up in a dungeon. Lucian comes in and heals us. But not fully, because he's like, nobody can suspect all this stuff. And he kind of gives us shit for coming. We're like, we had to. Food is given at random times, so we don't know what day it is. Feyre is very out of it and doesn't know anything. We're summoned back to the hall, and she's asked her name. She and Tamlin are silent, not saying shit. Lucian is brought forward. Rhys is called, hands in pocket, and holds Lucian's mind to try to get the name out of her. The second Lucian groans, Rhys is in his mind. Feyre instantly gives her name. Instantly, to save Lucian. And also, Rhys never took his hands out of his pocket, so she thinks he must be very powerful. He fucking is. Because he's just standing there all casual. And then we're given the riddle. And I have it marked because this riddle, I remember reading it first and thinking, and I was like, is this the answer? Like, am I wrong? But like, it fits, you know? So this is the riddle Amarantha gave her to solve. And they be instantly free or do all 3 tasks. So, there are those who seek me in a lifetime, but never we meet. And those I kiss, but who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large, my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned I become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill, I do it slow. Everybody and their mother knows the answer is love.
Yep.
I had my dad read that and he solved it. Like, right, he read it and told me the answer. I was like, yeah, that was pretty much everybody in the fandom.
Everybody in the fandom, myself included, I was like, this is literally me. I was like, love?
Yeah, me too.
It's love, right? And that's when I was like, I started locking in for I was like, what's gonna happen next?
I know. It's like, where's this gonna go? Because we already answered it. Yeah. It's
So
like, is it fair? How could you not? Because she's thinking poisons, animals, and I'm
right.
just like, girl. She's like,
Yeah.
my mom died of typhus.
So our poor illiterate small baby, frail 19-year-old baby child,
Baby.
never read book ever in life, never got past the 3rd grade. Girl is suffering. So
Yeah.
yeah, poetry not her forte, but if you were to like put a deer in the woods and be like, go find it, she could do that. so,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
yeah, you know those, you know how like people are like, I'm good at math, I'm good at English. Farrah's like, are you talking about school? I hunt small game for food. This is my strength.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So thinking
Yeah.
outside of any kind of other box in a riddle, which is like fucking cruel because this makes me think that Amarantha knows that Feyre is illiterate.
Well, task 2 definitely pushes that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Yeah. So we'll get into that more later. So now it's a full moon. I said we've montaged a lot of days here. Like a lot of days are like in and out, in and out, in and out. It's a full moon, so task day. Feyre's led to a platform. There's a mud pit. We're thrown in. Amarantha's like, "Your hunters hunt this bitch," and a giant worm comes out. Its enormous mouth filled with ring after ring of razor sharp teeth. The fandom collectively pictures this as the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob.
Yes.
It fits. That is how everybody pictures it. Like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
that works. Just like Mort is the doorknob from Alice in Wonderland.
That's right. That's right.
There are certain things everybody's like, yeah, that works. So this thing is coming after her. She's trying to run through the mud pit. It's just that maze, like a huge maze. And that we learn it's filled with bones. Like, okay, it's eating things. And Feyre falls in a hole, tries to escape, gets an idea. I'm gonna try to get out, but first I'm gonna kill this thing. She starts stacking the bones at the bottom of this hole and climbs out with the bones. She's very smart. And covers herself in this mud and muck because she learns the worm is blind. It goes by smell and sound, I'm guessing more, but smell more. So she covers herself in this muck and mud and becomes invisible. And people in the stands are like, what is it doing? What is it doing? Talking about Feyre. And Rhys is like, she's setting a trap. And he's very like proud sounding, but like trying not to be, but he sounds proud. And then he's like, and she just became invisible. And it's like, hell yeah, she did. So then she goes back and tracks it, finds it, cuts her hand so the blood will come out. And then it kind of disappears. And she's like, the fuck is it? And then Lucian shouts, on your left, which gets him into trouble. Thanks, Lucian, but sorry. And Feyre takes off running, jumps over the pit, and lands hard. Something gets in her arm, but she's like, I can't focus on that right now. The worm goes into the pit and dies. Task 1 is complete. Feyre, being pissed off, hurls a chunk of bone up at Amarantha and it lands in the mud and splatters on her. And then she's like, smiles and she's like, naughty. And I think this is when Rhys falls in love with her, if I remember correctly. This is when Rhys is like, I fell in love with you in that minute.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was impressed
like,
by her tenacity.
Yeah, her tenacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he also knew Cassian would be like, that's awesome. And that's the first thing he fucking asks her about, too, is, okay, the worm.
Right.
Cassian's like, he's such a fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
Mm-hmm.
And so the entire court, this is Amarantha's court, according to her, bet that she would die. Except one person. We learn later who that is. And it's very funny. One person believed in her and she's like, huh, okay. So Feyre's left alone. She hasn't eaten because she's sick. She has a fever. She's in pain. She's like, this looks infected. I'm dying, basically. And she has to wait another month before the task, but nobody can come heal. Lucian hasn't been there. All of a sudden, Rhys shows up and he's like, let's make a deal. Stay with me for 2 weeks every month once this is over, and I will heal you. She says, fuck off. And he's like, all right, I'm going to leave then. And she's like, wait, 5 days. He's like, 10 days. She's like, a week. Deal. Boom. She's healed. But now she has a new tattoo on her arm. She's like, what the hell? And Reese is like, oh, deals in my court are inked on your body. And it's this intricate thing up her arm that looks like lace. And there's an eye on her palm. And that comes into more in book 2. I feel like right now it has some stuff, but like it comes more into book 2. And Reese is like, we're going to tell Tamlin this at a better time. Because he's like, Bear's like, I'm going to hide this.
Our Reese, our High Lord is plotting.
The plotting bitch. But I didn't catch this my first read. The tattoo is inked so blue it looks black. So it's not black. It's just blue, dark blue ink. And I'm like, everybody makes it black. Okay, so it's like that midnight blue. That's cool. I didn't catch that before.
Like the night sky.
Exactly. Yes. I know. I was like, how the fuck did I forget this? Because I read this book once.
Same. Yeah, and then it was like, okay.
And then I did the graphic audio because that was my first go round. This was my first graphic audio, and I was like, this is really cool. And then I just got sucked into everything else. And then I skipped this one so much and go to 2 and 3 because that's where my true love lies. It's in the rest of them. Anyway, Amarantha and her cronies have Feyre cleaning things around the place and cleaning dirty floors with dirty water. Feyre's like, this is not gonna work. Lucian's mom, Lady Autumn, comes in, gives her clean water as a debt payment for saving her youngest and honestly favorite child. We'll get into that in book 3. Why he's the favorite. Also, there's a line at the end that confuses me. I don't know because I'm like, I have questions. Anyway, so montage, few days. We're cleaning lentils from a fireplace. We don't know who this belongs to. Oh shit, it's Reese. He comes in, lounges on the bed. He's annoyed, intrigued. They're just having a little chat. Also, this is our first hello, Feyre, darling. I totally giggled. I was like, Feyre, darling. Yippee!
Yeah.
So Feyre's asking him a lot of questions because this is what I like about her and Reese. She isn't afraid to ask him shit and kind of like give attitude back. With Tamlin, she always held back. And she still does. But with Reese, she's like, I'm going to ask all these questions about this. And she's like, can you shapeshift too? And he's like, yeah, every High Lord has a beast in him. Tamlin prefers fur. I prefer wings. And she's like, can you shift right now? And so he semi-shifts. It's still like his face. But he has talons and massive black membranous wings like a bat. Yes, he does. He shows her his wings. He does not show anybody his wings. You have to earn that. He instantly shows her. And I'm just like, the reread after knowing everything is just so good.
The nuggets. The little nuggets.
I love it. So he cleans the lentils with a snap of his fingers because he does that. He is so powerful, guys. And he tells the guards, she's cleaned everything. No more chores. And if anyone goes into her cell, they are to gut themselves. And I'm like, that's kind of hot.
Yeah, he commands them. He commands them. Somehow.
It's in their minds.
Yep, somehow. Exactly. Exactly.
And I'm just like, get it, Reese. I will fuck you. So after this, Feyre starts to get 2 hot meals a day. She curses and thanks Reese while she eats it. It's like, girl, you need food.
You're right.
Yes, we don't like him, but you need food.
Keep your strength up. You're in trials.
Yes. Trials and tribulations. All of a sudden, a few nights later, 2 females appear from the shadows and take her to a room and strip her, paint her body, give her like a makeover on her face too, and put a white gauzy dress on her and take her to Reese. And this dress is like very see-through looking, and Feyre's like, I'm barely covered. So they go to the chamber, and Reese is like, you're gonna be my plaything. I don't like when people mess with what's mine. That's why you're painted, so I can see if anybody touches you. And it's like, that's smart. And Tamlin is pissed because he's like, we made a deal. And, all this shit. Reese offers her wine, says she'll need it, and she keeps denying. He's like, drink it. So she does. There's rule number 1 broken. She's broken 2 rules already, guys. What the hell? Number 3 is kind of like, she does off and on, kind of not pay attention. But it's like the first 2 major rules are already broken, and we've been here a month.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 3 months we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, this is a big L, as Fantasy Fangirls also said. This is a big L for forcing wine on her that makes her black out. It's like she doesn't want to, but he's also kind of making her drink, like supplying her with it. It's like I
Yeah,
get
Reese is a controversial character, honestly.
he
Like,
is.
he's inconsistent. One thing I will say is he's inconsistent. There's a lot of inconsistencies in this book, right?
Yes.
So he forces her to drink, but he also knows that, like, to save face, to piss Amarantha off, and the drink makes her black out. So he honestly roofies her.
Yes.
So she doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and then she basically just wakes up the next day.
Yeah, and she's like, what happened? She might have like snippets, but she's like, I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So he like roofies her. And he's like, I'm doing this for you so you don't have to see what's part of it. Because I think we learn in book 2 that like a lot of depraved shit happens during these parties. So he's like, I was kind of protecting you. She's like, that wasn't cool, my God. And he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's big. Like, right, that's a big L. I was like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like, why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we learned so that's what we learned. She danced and sat on Reese's lap all night. And the only places he touched her were her arm and her waist to like hold her and stuff. So those are the only 2 places he has touched Feyre, and the paint proves it. So this is all and he is doing all this to try to get a rise out of Theophany or Tamlin. One of the 2. I was like, I swear I named him Theophany at one point.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I love it.
It's a T name.
Shout out, freaking Onyx Storm.
Okay, and this is where I'm mad at Lucian. Again, Lucian, I'm off and on mad about because it's like some shit. I'm like, Lucian, kind of an ass. Here, he's like, why didn't you wait for me to heal you? I would have come. Never mind, I couldn't move for like 2-3 weeks after helping you, and I was severely beaten, and my wound wouldn't heal. But I was gonna come, and Feyre's like, I was fucking dying, my guy. Like, I would not last to this point. I had to. And Lucian's like, okay. Anyway, what are you doing?
Are you doing okay, Feyre? Feyre's like, no!
No, I'm in a dungeon!
Yeah.
He's like, here's a cloak. So, this kind of goes on night after night. We're painted and blacked out just a lot of the times. Feyre says to Reese at one point, I know, this happens so much. Feyre's just like, nah.
It's what you said. We are painted and then we black out, and it just kind of keeps happening.
It does. Am I wrong? No.
No, it's just funny.
I forgot what exactly they were talking about, but Feyre at one point says to Reese, like kind of snapping at him, well, your court fell too. And she felt his pain. Like literally felt it tugging. The tattoo? The mate bond? What is that? It could be both. Could be either or. I was like, hello? She asks if he sold his allegiance for his court. And Reese has a dark look enter his eyes, and the shadow of wings stains the wall behind him. Oh, yes, it does. He's like, and he's like, you're done tonight. Go back. He was kind of over at that point.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Shut it. He's like, I'm gonna go drink now.
I gotta go. Oh, yeah. Classic Reese.
At another party, we're summoned up to the front of the court. Front of the dais, and a summer court fairy is on the ground crying. And he got caught trying to escape from one of the tunnels, and Amarantha's like, get in his mind, let me know if there's others. And we're like, okay. And from the crowd, we see a tall, handsome fae with near white hair watching. Eyes of crushing crystal blue and skin of richest mahogany. Hi, Tarquin. My summer court. Love him. I love him so much. Reese breaks into the other fae's mind and saying he acted alone in his escape. There's no other parties. He's just a coward. And Amarantha's like, break his mind. And Reese instantly does it. And she's like, I wanted to last longer. And he's like, I was bored. And when Reese is saying all of that, though, Feyre notices the High Lord of Summer sag a little, like in relief. And she's like, Reese knows something. He kept something. Because the High Lord of Summer was like, I'm gonna die. But then as soon as Rhys said that, he's like, oh, that relief. And we learned a lot about this in book 2, which I loved so much. Okay. I think at this point, Rhys is like, I need a drink. So Rhys goes and drinks. Task number 2 has arrived, guys, and it's a fucking doozy, okay? We're lowered into a rectangular pit. Lucien is chained to the floor. And we have 3 levers to choose from. Numbered 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And then there's a riddle on the wall. We can't read. We don't know what it says. And Lucien's too far away to read it aloud to her. And it's like, shit. Oh, and to make matters worse, the spikes are lowering from the ceiling onto Lucien. Like, they're gonna kill Lucien. Think they're gonna kill her. So she's like panicking because she's like, I can't read this. Lucien can't read it. And he's like, Feyre, answer the damn question. Like, and she goes to grab a lever because she has a whole thought process of why 1, 2, and 3 are good or bad, and it's really sad. The way she thinks it. She goes to grab 2 because she's like, 2 is the best. It's Feyre and Tamlin. Her hand burns. So she pulls it away. She goes to grab 1. Her hand burns. So she tries 3. Nothing. She does it again to be safe. And be like, did I just imagine this? Nope, she didn't. She pulls the 3rd one and nothing happens. The spikes go up. Lucien's like, oh, thank God. Like, I can get out of here. And Feyre kind of collapses and is like, my illiteracy almost killed me and Lucien. It's like, yeah, girl. It's fucked up. In her mind, Rhys tells her not to let, I said Abaddon. From Supernatural. Not to let Abaddon see her tears. Gives her a little pep talk to keep her head high. Calls her a good girl, and I fucking swooned. He's like, because she did it, and he's like, good girl. I was like, that's a weakness. And so she walks into her cell. But like the pep talk that Rhys gives her is like so sweet. And he's like, hold your head high. He's like, don't let her see your tears. He's like, you got this. Yep, like that. Just take a step. Don't even look at Tamlin. He's like, just go. And as soon as she gets in her cell, she breaks down. I don't blame her at all. So Rhys comes in later after Feyre's cried for an hour, 2 hours. Who the fuck knows? And he licks her tears away. And she's like, the fuck?
Yeah,
and
this part was so weird and disturbing. I was like, why are you doing that? You freak!
He's obsessed with her. He said, I knew that would make you stop crying. And she's like, yeah, it did. And then they kind of have a little back and forth. And then Rhys leaves. And then she goes, I wonder if Rhys knew he kept me from shattering by doing that. And I'm like, oh, honey, he did know. He keeps you from shattering a few ways.
Yeah, true.
That was one of them. The other one is like, oh, so sweet. So next, another montage, permanent darkness as Feyre calls it. Painted, drinking, blacking out. Repeat over and over and over and over. The shadows are taking us back to be painted into Rhys, and then all of a sudden they kind of stiffen and pull her back into the shadows. The Adder approaches, and we hide even more, like a freaking tapestry, but we're listening. Amarantha is wanting to attack the human world with the High Lord's men as well as Hybern's men, and she's trying to go against vengeance, and the king is kind of telling her to stand down, but she's also not listening. So we get a little bit of information of like this stuff here. And so then we're kind of go to the party. But that night in our cell, we're breaking down crying quietly. We hear music, fiddles, drums, melodies, all of the sort. We have visions of escaping, seeing the night sky. It's very sweet. Feyre falls asleep to it. It's peaceful. And we know what this is. This is Rhys helping her.
This is Rhys helping her.
Cutest.
Exactly. Very sweet piece of music that he somehow makes float into her cell. But going back to the Amarantha wanting to attack the human world, we're kind of figuring out that Amarantha is a tool of the King of Hybern. We don't know who the King of Hybern is at this point, what he wants, anything. Other than we know that Amarantha was sent here to manipulate and to gain power and to see how long it could be held. So Amarantha is here, and then she starts to act completely on her own as an entire rogue agent, where she's playing all these like fiddle fucky court rules. She's she wants to control these high fae men, right? She's obsessed with men. Hi, Jury and Ring. Hi, Timmy Tam. Hi, Reese the whore. Like, she's a pick-me. She's a freaking
She is.
pick-me.
And they make her call her queen.
Right?
She makes them call her queen. She's the
Right.
queen.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, everyone's like, the queen. And is like, they're like,
the
"This
queen
bitch."
of Under the Mountain. You're pathetic. You're nothing. You're
You
a
are.
rat. You're nothing. You're a waste of space. So we hate her. So it was very interesting that we learned that the King of Hybern is not happy that she's playing all these ticky-tacky court games and wasting time, basically. But he's also not going to act on his own. So, like, time is available to be wasted. But why? We don't know.
Yeah. We learn later, but it's like, what's going on? Amarantha's... The king's also not happy with her because to curse all of them, she stole the curse from his book of curses, basically, and he's not happy about that.
Right.
So she's on his shit list.
Right.
Yeah. So we're at another party, and we're being a wallflower because Reese is like off. He has a supple-bodied fairy perched on his lap. He'll tire of her soon. I'm like, are you jealous, Feyre? Okay. The way that was said, I was like, okay. Secretly jealous, but you're like, Tamlin. But Reese is hot. So as we're sitting there, we feel a body next to us. It's Tamlin. He kind of walks off and we kind of follow because he kind of tells us to. We get into a dark secret room. We start making out. We just one moment together. We're making out, getting hot and heavy, kind of about to start having sex. And then Reese comes in, tells Tamlin to leave, and cleans the paint off of him because Feyre's painted. And then Reese and her are talking, and then he's like freezes and then starts kissing Feyre and like rubbing on her to show like he's the one that smeared the paint instead of Tamlin. Amarantha and some others walk in and laughed. He sent Feyre away saying he's bored of her, and Tamlin saw and was like very like upset looking, and Feyre's like trying to convey like, I did this for you. Like, this is kind of your fault. But Reese gave them a cover story. And also this next scene, I love it so much. We're woken up by Reese entering our cell. They were going, what are you doing in here? And he's like, I just need a moment of peace and quiet from this damn mess. And he's like, that damn bitch is running me ragged. This is where you can see for sure Reese is not like her. He bows down and goes, yes, my queen. Your lovely face, my queen. All of this shit. But right here, Reese is like, I just need a fucking break. Like, he is sick of her. He tells Feyre that once she breaks Tamlin's curse, his wrath will be like no other. That he's doing this because he knows working Tamlin into a senseless fury is the best weapon they have against her, against Amarantha. We see more of like his humanity here and like his kind of more cunning brain that he has. He's like, I'm fucking with Tamlin to get him so mad that he gets Amarantha. He's like, my deal with you can be blamed on Amarantha. He's like, everything I've done can be blamed on Amarantha, so he will fucking kill her because then everybody will be free. And so he's saying he's doing this for his court, his people. He's trying to be as innocent as possible here. And it's just, so we get more information in the second book, A Court of Mist and Fury. So good. Oh my god, I cannot wait to dive into that chapter. Jesus Christ. That thing. I was trying to say that chapter, that I was saying that book, that episode. I was like, chapter. It's a fucking chapter. Our final task is here. We stride into the throne room. Amarantha is up there with Teacup, Tamlin.
Our teacup chihuahua. Yep.
A teacup chihuahua. And he's beside her. We won't look at him. We're trying not to. The hall is deathly quiet. All the other tasks, people have like cheered. Nobody is cheering. They know this is the end. That no matter what, they will either be free, permanently stuck down there. And she gives her final words to Taheen, saying that she loves him. And
that's a good one. I like that one.
I was like, the final task, she's not multiple one. She has to kill 3 innocent fairies. 2 male, 1 female. She has to stab them in the heart with an ash dagger. But not the same one, no. There's 3 separate ones. So basically she has to constantly reach for the dagger and stab them. So it's like ingrained and it'll be burned into her forever. So she kills the first two, struggles through it. Don't get me wrong, it took her a hot minute. And because they had pulled the masks off. They pulled the mask off on the third one. It's Tamlin. And she's like, but you're there. We look at the dais. It's the Adder in disguise. She's having an internal battle. Like, I have to kill Tamlin. But Amarantha wants him, so she won't want him dead. But I have to kill him. If I don't kill him, I die, they die. What happens?
Mm-hmm.
Then she goes back to thinking. Alice said to think, or to listen to everything I've heard. Throughout the first half, a couple times have been spoken. Gosh, Tamlin, for someone with a heart of stone, you sure are feeling a lot lately. That was said at least 2 times, maybe a third. Basically, Tamlin has a heart of stone. So Feyre's like, I have to be right. And so she stabs him after she says, I love you, because she's like, if this doesn't work, I'm fucking killing myself.
Mm-hmm.
So she stabs him, it goes in, and then we hear a dull thud. We pull the knife out and the tip is bent. We hit stone. Because she's like, Amarantha would not kill Tamlin. She wants him too much to let him die.
Yep.
So the Fae in the crowd start yelling at Amarantha, free them, free them. And then she twists the wording. She's like, I just had to free them. I didn't say when if she completed the task. It's when she completes the riddle that they will instantly be free. Feyre's like, this bitch, she did trick me.
Mm-hmm.
Amarantha starts beating the shit out of Feyre, beating her ass. Rhysand calls Feyre's name. Ugh. Amarantha breaks every bone in Feyre's body. Rhysand calls out like he cares.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs the bloody ash dagger Feyre dropped, and runs at Amarantha at her throat. This is all Rhys, not Tamlin. This is Rhys doing this. Amarantha tosses him back, and she realizes Rhys was planning this all along. Calls him a traitor, all of that. She's like, you're a traitor. I'm going to get back to you. She's kind of beating Rhys up a little too. Feyre tells her to stop. Rhys and her make eye contact. The bond between us went taut, it says. And I'm like, yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, I flashed between my body and his, seeing myself through his eyes, bleeding and broken and sobbing. And I was like, the mate bond. By the way, they're mates, if we haven't caught on to that.
Yeah. Hey. They kiss.
Hey.
They don't. They should.
No, they do. They kissed in this one. He had to make out with her, cover up. So yes, they do kiss.
Right. Yeah, he forcefully kisses her.
He forcefully kisses.
It's not consensual. Yeah.
No. Later, the kisses are hot. Don't worry. And so in this moment, Feyre's life starts to flash before her eyes as she's laying, dying and beaten by Amarantha. Tamlin crawls, still healing from being stabbed, and is begging Amarantha. He will do anything. He never says about anything before. He is saying, I will do anything to make you stop. It's in this moment that goes, the answer is love. And then Amarantha's like, fuck. And then the curse is broken, but Feyre dies. Her world goes black. She's seeing it through somebody else's eyes now, somebody else's body. This person rises slowly from a cracked and bloodied floor. It's Rhysand. We're seeing it through Rhysand's point of view. I know.
Because of the magical motherfucking tattoo deal that she made with him.
And the mate bond. And so Lucian's in the crowd, tears in his eyes, removes his fox mask. The curse is broken for the Supreme Court. Tamlin, his face becomes lupine. I love that description. As he faced Amarantha. She now begs him, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch. And she's blasted back by Tamlin's magic, because he has all his magic back. The Supreme Court is free. Everybody else is not, but the Supreme Court, they are free. He is a beast and pins her to the wall. The Adder and the guards try to rescue them, but all the Supreme Court Fae stop them. They're like, nope, fuck off. A sword is thrown. Tamlin now has a sword and stabs Amarantha in the head. And then he tears her throat out because he's in his beast form. Amarantha's dead. I'm like, this is a cinematic masterpiece. Oh my god. Everybody in the chamber is deathly silent. Everybody is free because Amarantha's dead. Everybody has their powers back. They're quiet. And just kind of gathered looking at them because Tamlin's now holding Feyre and just crying. And then a tall, handsome, brown-haired man with a face similar to Lucian appeared beside him and extended a clenched hand and then tipped his hand and a glittering spark fell on Feyre. Okay. Spoiler for book 3, real quick. If Lucian is not Baron's, why does he look like Baron?
Right.
That's the line that I'm like,
Baron's brother?
Distant cousin?
No. I think maybe Baron's brother, if there is a brother, which I don't remember. So I'll have to do a reread and to figure out if that's even mentioned or not. But could Baron have a brother or have had a brother? Because we know that it's normal for all the, high fae to kill their siblings so that they end up
Yeah.
being the only one in power. So could it have been that Baron at one point had a brother and that brother got with the
No, because we know
mom?
who fathered him. We know who
Right.
supposedly had fathered him. It was Helion,
Right.
Daycourt.
Right.
So it's like, do the lady of the Autumn Court and the High Fae and the High Lord look so much alike that it doesn't matter?
Are they already related? Are they distant cousins? Are they
Oh,
siblings?
because I
Which,
don't think we know much about them.
yeah,
That could be it.
right.
Because I think it was an arranged marriage, if I'm remembering correctly.
Cormac.
And
Anyways.
I know. I think they were an arranged marriage, and he likes power, he likes control, and that's why they have 7 fucking sons.
I think it
And
would make sense that they were cousins, probably not that they would be siblings, because they'd be in
no,
line. They'd be too much. There'd be too much of a power struggle. But we know that she does have power. Powers.
she does.
It's not as strong, but
That's where Lucian gets his fire magic.
right.
Because she's from the Autumn Court, which is fire more.
Right.
But he looks like Helion too, because like that's where Feyre's like, he looks like Helion. Is that Helion's kid? And Reese is like, oh shit. But why does he look like Baron? This is what threw me.
Yeah, it's an
I'm like,
it's an inconsistency in the story. Yeah.
It is, because I'm like, oh, was she saying this is like Helion coming up? And then we get Helion later doing his power, and I was like, damn it, it's not. Because we have this dark-haired male, so this is Autumn Court coming up, giving a little spark. 2 more come up. Summer and Winter do the same thing, a little spark from their hand. Dawn and Day, here's Helion, because he's brighter than the others. I'm like, that's Helion, of course it is. They do their spark. And then Reese gives his spark. Reese, as I called him. And he says, for everything she gave to us. And then Tamlin gave a little spark. We don't know what the fuck this is. They're just like, have magic come out, and then it's like, boop. Like,
yeah, it's a little like in my mind I'm picturing like a rice grain or like a seed of some kind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a white seed, yeah, coming out, yeah. And then Farrah's watching this from Reese's, so she's just kind of seeing this, going, okay. Farrah wakes up with a gasp. Everybody's still around her, so she's like, so this just happened then. Cool. Amarantha's dead. Great. But then Farrah's still like struggling in her mind. In this instant, she's like, I killed 2 fairies, but Amarantha's dead. But I killed 2 fairies. Like, already going through all this trouble. They are figuring stuff out with the High Lords and meetings. A lot of people disappear. They go to a room, and Feyre's kind of getting looked over because she's still a little sore because she was beat to shit, guys. Like, every bone was broken.
Right.
She's still sore.
Yeah.
So Tamlin distracts her like she needs, and they have a little hanky panky.
Right.
And then, yeah, Feyre's woken by a tug in the middle of the night, and then she goes and meets Reese at the balcony where the sun is rising and his wings are out. This is a big sign, okay? This to me, yeah. She jokes about him getting her 1 week a month because she's like, I can't buy, this stuff. And he's like, that's right, I do. And then Feyre asks him why. And that's all she said is why. And he knows what she really is questioning. And his answer, because when the legends get written, I didn't want to be remembered for standing on the sidelines. I want my future offspring to know that I was there and that I fought against her at the end, even if I couldn't do anything useful, because I didn't want you to fight alone or die alone. I'm like, okay. Ugh. There's just so many Easter eggs. And Reese also says, everything I love has a tendency to be taken from me. And it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
That's also why he doesn't.
Everything you love?
Yeah.
Interesting that you would say that, Reese. Interesting.
Also, it's half true.
Right.
Because this is an answer to why he's never told anybody about the wings and why he likes flying. Because he's like, it gets taken away from me. I'm not telling them shit.
Right.
He plays his cards so close to the vest. Like, he's like, no.
Yeah.
No. As Reese is saying goodbye, he's like bent over, like kind of sarcastically saying goodbye. He goes rigid. They lock eyes. and his eyes go wide. He's in shock, and then he stumbles back. Before Favorite could say what's going on or what's wrong, he vanishes. He winnows the fuck out of there because he just is like shocked.
Mm-hmm.
So Favorite and Tamlin leave the mountain. She's like, let's go home. And all of the entrances to under the mountain have been destroyed. So nobody can get back under there, which makes sense. Nobody wants to go back under there.
No, hell no.
Hell no. And so they're walking out and, arm in arm, hand in hand, whatever. And that's it. Fade to black. Yeah, scene.
Yep.
There is so much we left out. So many theories also. Mainly theories. And stuff from 2. We're trying not to spoil too much, but guys, we're gonna talk about the other books. Because
Correct.
you saw how many Easter eggs we had.
Correct. And we have to cut this way down so that it's actually digestible for you guys. Again, this is an unhinged recap. We try to keep it quick and fresh as much as we possibly can. Obviously, we're world building in the first couple of books, so there's a lot that we have to add in because it's pertinent and important to the story and also the world. And so there's things that you need to remember. So there is a lot of things we've left out. There is a lot of fan theories, and perhaps there may be a time for that, for us to come back and to discuss fan theories. But I think at this point, we've pretty much summarized the entire first book. So we hope that you've enjoyed that. Comment below your fan theories. We would love to hear your fan theories. And of course, you will see us back here for Akamath. We're hoping to get that out in the next couple of weeks as well. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned, guys. Yes, yeah. Comment your fan theories. Comment your favorite character if you have one.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be this first one. Any book.
I like that.
Signing off from your
leaders,
leaders to our devotees.
See you next time. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you still hear me okay? Heal me.
Yep, I can hear you. And I can hear you, and we're good. Okay, so we're going to, from the top, we're going to
drop. Yeah, the first part I did, I hit my knee, and I was like, hold on, I gotta restart.
Man down.
Do you want to know what my lunch was? 2 bites of peanut butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's all I had. There's nothing in this house right now.
Oh my god. You're insane. I respect the fuck out of that. They were sisters. They were siblings.
I don't know why that wanted to come out.
It just did. It just did.
Oh. I told her, I was like, I would love every male. Honestly, Eris too. Okay?
He's such a bitch! Anyways, sorry.
Spikes are lowering from the ground, from the ceiling to the ground.
From the ground.
Lowering from the ground.
They're lowering from the ground through him. Unto him. On top of him. What? The physics are physicking.
It's Faye. What do you expect?